still don't believe he ever had a black girlfriend.
I was his only little chocolate drop. And I was dating Michael back then. I thought I was going to marry Michael, but, you know, I'm a little too dark.
With the dream.
I don't know what happened after Billie Jean and that huge success. He changed into something else. But prior to that, he was cool.
And how many people have seen him in his drawers? I mean, really.
I guess it's not that many. Maybe Brooke Shields, Tatum O'Neal.
Right.
Friends, and I was really in love. I just knew I was going to be Mrs. Michael Jackson.
That brother is the greatest.
The greatest. The greatest.
The greatest. That brother is the greatest to ever walk the face of this earth.
You know, there's some people that you like, I won't let anybody say anything bad about you because you're my girl. I won't let anybody say bad things about people that I love. It's like, no. You know, but Michael was so sweet and so innocent. And I really don't think that this world was ready for the kind of person he was. You know what I'm saying? He was love. And that's all he knew was love. And that's all. And he loved children because children are innocent. Yes. They're not tainted. And they don't judge you. They don't want anything from you. Yes. So that's why he felt comfortable being around children.
You know, the thing with Lisa Marie is that she left her husband to go off with Michael Jackson.
That I don't get. Let's get into this.
Okay. I'm married to Emma.
What about the way he looks? I told you, see, now I'm not attracted to mediocrity or normalcy or things like that. I think certain things I'm weird. I don't know. I'm whacked.
You talk to him still?
Who?
Michael.
I've spoken to him probably first time a month ago after 2 years of not. I didn't take phone calls for a while, and then I took it a month ago just out of mere curiosity of what the hell he want.
And looking back on that experience, what do you say to yourself now? Because we all have done things in our lives and you say, I don't know what I was thinking, or I didn't know what I was thinking, or that was a great lesson for me. I don't know. What do you say to yourself when you look at that period in your life?
Holy Mother of God. I'm sorry.
Do you think he used you?
Oprah? Miss Oprah. This seat is hot, let me tell you.
Choose to answer.
Do I think he did? All of the signs point to yes on that. Can't answer for him. Manipulation on that end. For me, completely snowed, blindsided, stupid, naive. You name it, I was it.
Does it annoy you to see the focus on someone you cared about? Probably we still care about.
To be honest with you, it's kind of a blessing that this is happening and that I don't have to say anything right now because there's a trial going on. And
you don't have to,
you know?
I mean...
Right, and I really didn't speak well. When I see previous interviews, I'm barky and I tend to want to skirt out of it, and I would find quick little exits defensively out of it because I didn't understand my relationship with him.
Did you feel like you were, in many ways, a nurturer, caretaker for him?
Very much, and I really loved that role, and I loved taking care of him. It was the highest point of my life, one of the very highest points of my life, was when things were going really well, and he and I were united together, and he and I had an understanding about some of the people and the things that could go on around him. And he was with me on those things, and we were a unit, and I could take care of him. And in spite of what some people speculated while I was with him, that I wanted a career or that I was trying to do something, it was absolute BS. I've never been comfortable being front and center, honestly. Don't like attention on me. Loved being next to him and taking care of him. I was on such a high doing that, that I don't, you know, that it was a very profound time in my life. So it wasn't anything, it was real as far as that goes. Where these two incredible people, and I speak, you know, with the utmost respect and love, because I had that for both.
Your father and Michael.
Yes.
So you fell in love with him because of?
For him. Because he was an incredibly dynamic person. If you were in his vicinity and he wanted to give, and he showed you who he was, if he was willing to do that in any way, man, I have never felt so high in my life. I have never felt so high in my life as that, and I am not lying when I say that. He had something so intoxicating about him, and when he was on, and when he was ready to share with you or give it to you, and be himself and allow you to come in, I don't know if I've ever been that intoxicated by anything. It was like a drug. He was like a drug for me. I felt like I just always wanted to be around him. I always wanted to be part of it. I felt so high. I've never felt like that around another human being except for one.
Did you feel loved by Michael in the beginning?
Very much so. I don't think I realized it at the time how much what that meant. And he fell in love with me, and I fell in love with him, and it was very real. Hindsight 2020, I understand him so well now. But at that time, I didn't. I was hurt. I was hurt, and, you know, I did things that hurt him, you know, and I did stupid things too. But I have to say in retrospect that he honestly tried so hard and went through so much with me, and I know now when I look back at it, he's never done that with any other female or anyone as much as we went through, and when we hit rough waters, and we would argue for 3-day arguments, sometimes taking a break to eat and sleep.
Wow.
You know, I'd have to say that I really admire that he really gave it a good shot. You know, I didn't appreciate it then, and I wish I did.
So you still loved him even when you left him?
Very much.
Those moments as you stood over that casket, were you able to make peace?
No. I don't think I could make peace then. I think that I wanted to apologize. More was like, I felt like I wanted to apologize
for
not being around, you know?
Do you think you could have saved him?
God, that's such a hard question. Naively, I want to say, I know that it's naive to think that I could have, but I wanted to. Could I have? Had I made a call, had I stopped being so shut off from him, had I just said, how are you? Can I try to make a phone call? You know, I really did regret that I didn't.
Las Vegas, the place is up for grabs tonight. Odds 2-1. Jackson will be convicted in 1 to 5 counts. Cha-ching. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Nancy Grace. Thank you for being with us tonight.
As you presume guilt ahead of presuming innocence, which is supposed to be the American justice system. You know, innocent until proven guilty.
You know what I think about Mesereau? Mesereau is not only talented, but he is disciplined. And it is because of Mesereau that Michael Jackson walked free. Not plausible.
But you think it's okay for you or me to sit somewhere and say, I know he's guilty, I don't care what's happening in court. That's the way some of your critics think you're approaching this,
well,
especially in the Michael Jackson case, for
obviously, they
example.
haven't been watching the show because we meticulously go over every night exactly what is happening in court. And frankly, when it comes to Mr. Jackson, I believe I was right.
I love the way I started looking at several of his old videos, you know, and routines and everything. And I realized, I saw that Michael's adding on the white socks was absolutely brilliant, I think. The white socks stood out in the darkness. And you could see your eyes were drawn to those dancing feet. And same thing with the glove. That was brilliant too. I think that the cosmetic surgery was excellent. But all in all, what he resulted in was just a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous performer. And I'm not biased. I just think that's the way it is. There has been, for a long time, a concentrated effort to destroy Michael Jackson, I think. And it had absolutely, what they used to do in the old days was to insinuate that somebody was gay. That was about as bad as you could get, you know? And now Washington and Hollywood have switched to people are child molesters as a way to, you know, it doesn't matter whether it's ever proven in court. All you have, that's the smear. So, I suggest that you do as I did, and I started thinking about what Michael Jackson's friends were saying, and it came to me that this man was a genuine friend to his friends. He was not a taker, he was a giver. And no wonder people like Elizabeth Taylor and you know, so many people, you know, really counted on him as a friend. And I think his love of children was genuine.
About Michael's ranch, Mr. Bashir's on-air comment was, "One of the most disturbing things is the fact that a lot of disadvantaged children go to Neverland. It's a dangerous place for a vulnerable child to be." But what he said behind the scenes was this.
I was here yesterday and I saw it, and it's nothing short of a spiritually kind thing.
This comment about Michael's method of raising children was included on Bashir's special. They are restricted. They are overly protected. I was angry at the way his children were made to suffer. But this was not.
Your relationship with your children is spectacular. And in fact, it almost makes me weep when I see you with them.
I think all of us were shocked and deeply saddened by the news today. I was actually out running in Central Park when I heard and came home, showered and came into the office. Many of us were excited about the prospect of him performing in London. Thousands of people had bought tickets from all over the world, and now to hear this news is very, very sad. I think it's worth remembering that he was probably singly the greatest dancer and musician the world has ever seen. Certainly when I made the documentary, there was a small part of that which contained a controversy concerning his relationship with other young people. But the truth is that he was never convicted of any crime. I never saw any wrongdoing myself. And whilst his lifestyle may have been a bit unorthodox, I don't believe it was criminal. And I think the world has now lost the greatest entertainer it's probably ever known.